Hey, hi everyone. My name is Paul Edwards, and I run the Software Channels and Ecosystems Research Service at IDC. And thanks for joining this podcast, which will be focused on the value that partners experience from engaging with SAP Business Technology Platform, or BTP. And I'm joined by Martin Stenzig. He's Chief Technology Officer of Rizing, and they're an SAP partner focused on enterprise and human asset management based in Stamford, Connecticut. And I'm also joined by Tom Lee. He is Global Vice President of Partner Solution Advisory at SAP. So today's podcast really stems from a recent ebook that IDC produced that I was involved with, which was really based on conversations with a select group of SAP partners that were engaged with SAP BTP, or Business Technology Platform. And really the paper dives into the business and technology accelerators that SAP partners experience as they engage with the platform. And you can actually access that study at any time. And let's really start the stage here and set things up. And I want to get a little bit of an understanding, a little bit more about SAP's perspective on the importance of SAP BTP and the partner ecosystem. So, Tom, just give us some comments a little bit on the role the ecosystem will play related to SAP BTP.
Sure. Hi, Paul. Hi, Martin. It's my great pleasure to join both of you on this podcast today. So to answer your question, Paul, about the role of our partner ecosystem as related to SAP BTP, I can tell you that working closely with our partners is paramount. And that's part of our core strategy and BTP DNA. As you know, BTP delivers a unified platform and also provides business context for SAP solution, while our partners bring their unique expertise, services, and innovation together with BTP to deliver impactful business value for our customers. And we fully recognize this isn't a build it and they will come situation, right? So providing a platform for the entire ecosystem is the process of engaging with our partners and customers, identifying what's working and what's not, communicating our product roadmap and strategy to our partners and so on. So as a case in point, the recent IDC study and ebook that you mentioned earlier, Paul, will help us further understand the synergy, the best practices and accelerators that our partners are experiencing around BTP. Now, understanding and sharing this knowledge helps the entire ecosystem deliver positive business impacts and ultimately the intelligent enterprise for our customers. So in a nutshell, I see SAP BTP as one critical pillar to customer success and our partner as the other pillar.
Terrific. Thanks, Tom. That's actually a great segue. So, let's jump into the study. And really one thing that leapt out at me in talking with SAP partners was that connection between their expansion and acceleration of value and their focus on SAP BTP. It was basically one feeding off the other in this continuous loop to engage customers really for the longer term, really what we call customer lifetime value. And while working with customers in SAP BTP, these partners were able to deliver the full breadth of their capabilities. And really what I'm talking about here is partner services like consulting, implementation, integration, support, managed services, but also custom and packaged apps that these partners have developed and sell to their customers. And as you may have guessed, one of the partners participating in the study that I mentioned was Rizing. And so let's ask Martin to tell us a bit about his company, Rizing, and really how they work with SAP and specifically with SAP BTP.
Yeah, thanks, Paul, and thanks for having me and having us as Rizing in this podcast. We at Rizing consider ourselves a big boutique in the SAP system integration space. We're not claiming to be everything to everybody, but we're focusing on and are experts in 3 areas. Those 3 areas are consumer industries, and with sort of a focus on fashion and retail, but consumer industries as a whole holistically. Human capital or human experience management, the title changes, depending on the year. But it's all about the people that you have in your organization. So as you mentioned it before, the human assets that we're bringing to the table. And then last but not least, enterprise asset management. And when we are talking about enterprise asset management, it's not financial assets per se, but we're talking technical assets. So you're thinking power plants, oil refineries, railroad tracks, that's sort of an asset for us. So coming back to sort of the overall goal, together with our customers, we usually approach implementation by utilizing the SAP Intelligent Core first. And for us, that's predominantly S/4HANA and SuccessFactors, and then complementing and innovating with SAP's business technology platform. But as you mentioned before, and as Tom, I think, pointed out very well, is we see sort of the business technology platform as the glue that really brings it all together and really unlocks the business value that we are looking for. So that's the most important thing to us. What's most important really is for us is unlocking business value spelled out in your business case, you as our customer, and not merely implementing an IT solution. There are probably a lot of our friends and partners out there that sort of see it as an IT solution. For us, yeah, we also want to build and implement a good IT solution, but predominantly our utmost goal is to really get that business value. So IT solution, as we know, can be as great as it can, but if you don't get to the business value, you still miss the goal at the end of the day. So the other thing that you sort of hinted at, as an SAP partner, we're not just implementing SAP BTP components, but we took it one step further. Even from years ago, we started building our own custom applications that are addressing SAP white spaces on the SAP Business Technology Platform, because we believed in its success and its growth, and also the advantages that we're getting out of it, which I think we'll talk about later.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Martin. That is great detail. And yeah, I think we're going to dig into some of that a little bit. So, one of the things that I found really a key reason why partners bring their full value to SAP BTP is because the platform helps facilitate that broader customer transformation, the conversations with customers around transformation, and the engagements around transformation, which really means that the end solution has the potential to address issues that span the customer's business over time. And that over time piece is pretty important. But that all requires more from partners, I think, in what we would call a soup to nuts approach, right? That starts with understanding and uncovering key business issues and continues with monitoring ongoing and long-term business requirements for those customers. And it really can be addressed by a range of partner offerings like Rizing has, and also through SAP BTP. And I also see this really about moving beyond what we would call the one and done kind of sales and implementation cycle, right? To a customer for life posture. And I think that leads to, and what I heard for sure is that leads to higher profitability and revenue from things like, post-sale services and software engagements that really come out of that initial implementation. So Martin, just tell us how Rizing has actually experienced the scope and impact of BTP on your customers and on your own business, especially thinking about something like customer lifetime value.
Yeah, and I think it's what we're finding is that it's a win-win-win for all parties involved. A win for the customer because they can unlock the value, a win for SAP, obviously, because they can position and implement their software, and then a win for us because we can work with the customer to help them sort of drive the business value. So let me give you a recent example that we saw in the HCM space, but really it's broader than the HCM space. So think of a customer that migrates to SuccessFactors as a starting point, but subsequently adopts S/4HANA in order to drive their financial information and do a few other things. So it all starts out when we are implementing and integrating SuccessFactors today. The first component out of the BTP that we're pulling in is the integration suite. Every HCM system always needs to integrate with payroll systems externally, with other vendors, with internal legacy systems. You want to make sure that you have all of these interfaces ready to go. And integration suite is essentially the standard thing of integrating all of these external platforms. You have standard packages that you can utilize. You have accelerators that we'll talk about a little bit later. But integration suite is sort of the first piece of the puzzle. And now we're coming into sort of the life cycle. Now you're concluding the first phase, which is, your HCM system is going live. You can unlock the first, inch of value that we have. Once the customer is comfortable with that standard functionality, we at Rizing then can offer add-on products. So there are still white spaces in that area where we have solutions that are business technology platform based that can increase efficiencies, effectiveness, beyond what SAP is providing you out of the box. So once those are rolled out, then we're tapping into other ones. Let's assume now that coinciding with us implementing that, the customer is rolling out S4, but now you want to provide your end users the impression that this is just not 2 or 3 systems that they are working with, but this is the intelligent core. It's one consolidated environment. So that's where we're bringing in the next component out of the business technology platform. That's called WorkZone. WorkZone allows you to make it seamless to the end user. They are logging into one website, and you don't see that one application that you're opening up is really more a financial transaction, and the other one is coming out of the SuccessFactors core. But the end user perceives it as one consolidated business application environment. So that's what we have. And then the other thing that you want to have is, now that you have S4 and SuccessFactors, you want to use combined KPIs. So what S4 and SuccessFactors individually do is they provide great analytics components with their embedded functionality. But once you have these 2 systems, especially on sort of the C level that I see myself and I find myself in, you want to take KPIs that are not just exclusively HR driven or exclusively financial driven, but you want to, for example, combine the budget that you have that is usually residing in your S4 environment, and combine and contrast that to your plan that you get from your people organization. How many people would you want to hire? So in order to do that, you can then use systems that are business technology platform based, like Data Warehouse Cloud and SAC, to do that work, to model that out. And then last but not least, you have all of these processes. You probably grow your organization. You have more and more repetitive processes, and you want to now sort of phase it back to the end user. You let the end user use sort of the new technology that the business technology platform brings you, like chat functionality. We're seeing that especially the younger generation that use WhatsApp and Facebook, for them, everything is chat. So if we can make and unlock the SAP functionality through chats, then we're eliminating the HR technician work that is usually, hey, I received an email and I now have to change X and Y. The younger generation that is coming into the workforce, they just want to send a chat message to a bot, and the bot is making the change for them. So that's what we can do, and those are the things. And I've mentioned several business technology platform components along the way, but those are the components that make immediate sense. And it's not just all in phase 1, as you said, Paul, but it's that long-term, longer plan that is phase 1, 2, 3, 16. But at each step, you're unlocking additional business value for the customer by utilizing the business technology platform component. And then we have other things to just close on sort of that innovative idea. We continuously innovate with customers on business technology platform, on the business technology platform, on sort of new ideas, things that SAP doesn't have a product for because it's just brand new. There's one topic about machine readable passports and compliance with the European eIDAS regulation that we're working on right now, where it's sort of, it's right there. It will allow you to take sort of the middleman out of the validation of your personal data. You just put your passport onto your iPhone and it reads the information automatically and feeds it right into your SuccessFactors system. So we've just eliminated an hour or 2 of your HR technician to do the work. And we can build those things in a minimal amount of time on top of that business technology platform because all the pieces are already there. Paul?
Great. Yeah, thanks, Martin. That's a great setup actually for another topic that I know is important to Rizing as well, and that's really the element of simplicity when working with SAP BTP, and that's really reflected in projects that are, and I've heard this, short and easy to deliver to production, which really means quicker time to value for customers. And it's not really a small feat, because I think customer operating models, they're changing rapidly, right? They have to mitigate disruption in their respective markets, and it's really driving the need for agility, which I think at the same time drives and requires partners to be agile as well. And I know, that partners like Rizing have experienced shrinking implementation and deployment times on SAP BTP, and in some cases going from months to days by avoiding things like custom processes and using prepackaged content that might be created by SAP or the partner as well. And I think, and this is also what I heard, not having to reinvent the wheel each time actually increases partner profitability. And the last point on this, rather than coding within the ERP system, the process of keeping the core clean by coding within BTP really helps customers reduce TCO, total cost of ownership, and I think enables, and you mentioned this, enables partners to innovate more freely. So, Martin, on this point, just share with us what Rizing has experienced with its own innovations on SAP BTP.
Yeah, and I want to go back to sort of what is the BTP and how can it help you? The business technology platform, compared to sort of other platforms that we're seeing out there, does not simply stop at the toolbox level. In other platforms, you have sort of a good toolbox, no doubt. But what you get with a business technology platform, and I think that makes a difference, is number one, we get pre-assembled but extensible business applications that are sitting on top of that platform. So SAP is utilizing their own platform to build these business applications on top of. So you don't have these decoupled, toolboxes that you now have to figure out how you can integrate them. But that's sort of the first step. And a good example would be sort of the logistics business network, asset intelligence networks are some names that are out there that are sitting and utilizing that business technology platform to sort of, as a foundation, but it makes it easy for us to now extend and implement those, because we already know how to work with a business technology platform. So that's the one thing. The second thing is accelerators or business content. So the classic example there would be SAP Analytics Cloud or Data Warehouse Cloud or Integration Suite. All of those have content in there, like a standard data model for enterprise asset management demand that we put together on the Data Warehouse Cloud. So our customers do not have to start reinventing the wheel for a good data model that they can use, but they can sort of just pick and choose the data model that makes sense for them out of an accelerated model, and then they can refine it, but they don't have to start over again from the ground level. And then last but not least, our accelerators that SAP put together, programming frameworks. The two that I want to mention is the cloud application programming model, and then combined with what SAP called the Fiori Elements approach, allowed us to create custom apps much quicker than we did before. When we are looking, and what we did is we looked at sort of the standard applications we usually develop, and they usually fall into sort of the 4 or 5 categories that SAP is promoting as well. So having said that, I think SAP has done a tremendous job over the last 5 to 10 years of sort of making it simpler. You're not losing the flexibility on the other hand. So if we're coming to the point where sort of these accelerated models don't work, you still have all the flexibility and functionality in order to build a fully custom application. But SAP allows you to build custom apps in a matter of days rather than weeks or months before. And combining that with a business technology platform that allows you to spin up new tenants or new environments in a matter of hours or frankly minutes, that's sort of what we were always looking for. In the past, just to give you some ideas, when we asked, hey, we need a new sandbox because we want to drive innovation, customer usually during the proposal phase would always say, oh yeah, not a problem, I spin that up in a day. But once we're getting there, then it takes weeks. It's suddenly, impacting your overall timeline, and you can't get even to the point where you start the development with a business technology platform that's distinctly different. Now we can spin up complete tenants in a matter of minutes. We can utilize them, and we're taking all of that overhead that we had in the past in the SAP ecosystem. We're taking that out and getting to the point where we can actually be efficient. We can actually drive agile processes and projects with the customer. We are saying, okay, let me develop this for you, and tonight I show you an application and you can tell me what refinements we want to make. That's what we were always looking for, and that's what the business technology platform can do for us.
Yeah, that's great, Martin. Thanks. That's really good insight and really value for other partners to think about as well. I just want to give SAP, I guess, the final word here, and let's ask Tom to share with us what SAP is doing to help drive partner value with SAP BTP. And just a couple of points from me. I mean, what I heard from partners was that, SAP helps to enhance partner revenue and profitability through the alignment of partner and SAP sales teams. Very important. Also through customer account planning and the creation of joint roadmaps specifically for field engagement, but also alignment around product roadmaps, also very important when you're developing on the platform. But there's also initiatives like Rise with SAP for partners that resell, and there's also free tier, right, which is important to help showcase the real world value of what SAP BTP can do with prospects. So let's turn it over to Tom. And Tom, what can you tell us about what you've been doing to help partners?
Sure, Paul. So there are many programs that SAP offers and many cross-functional teams within SAP that work closely with our partners to ensure their success with BTP. For example, the support team includes partner manager, field sales team, partner marketing and go-to-market team, product development, partner technical account manager, and so on. But I'd like to give you some specific example now, how SAP helps to enhance partners' revenue and profitability with BTP, and ultimately help partners delivers lifetime value to customers, as you mentioned earlier, Paul. So first, let's look at SAP Store, right, which is the go-to marketplace for SAP customers. This is where our partners can publish and sell their solutions. And by listing partner solutions on SAP Store, those solutions become directly accessible to over 400,000 SAP customers. They are also searchable by SAP sales team to find partner solution to fulfill customers' requirements that are not fully met, right, by SAP solutions. So with regards to field engagement, our sales team and our partners are closely aligned in sales strategy, selling motion, and customer account planning. There are also incentive programs to encourage and motivate our sales account executives to enhance the value of customers receive from their SAP applications by extending and enhancing them with partner solutions. For example, solutions that combine KPIs from S/4HANA and SuccessFactors that allows customers to analyze and derive actionable item or actionable insights is a really good one. It's an example that Martin brought up earlier, right? So with regards to product alignment, our product teams proactively work with our partners to ensure that they have visibility into our SAP product roadmap and strategy. They can also help validate white space, or I would like to prefer to call them innovative space opportunities that partners can turn into solutions offering. You mentioned Rise with SAP. So now let's talk about Rise with SAP. It is a strategic offering to help our customers move to the cloud and S/4HANA. It includes BTP as the foundation platform to help our customers accelerate their S/4HANA adoption and also drive business transformation. It also opens new opportunities to our partners our partners now can resell BTP, their application and service offerings that are running on BTP to RISE customers. Our partners can also use BTP free tier to develop and show and demos or showcase BTP applications to their customers and prospects. Now, the free tier, as the name implies, is free to our partners, and the free tier instance can be switched to a production paid service plan without losing any work. So I hope that I was able to give you an idea for how SAP can help drive partner success with their BTP innovation journey.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of value there that partners can take advantage of, clearly. And so I want to say thanks to Martin for joining us and sharing his insight on how his company Rizing is working with SAP and deriving high value with SAP BTP. Hopefully that came through here. And also thanks to Tom for outlining just now how SAP is working with partners to drive better outcomes. And thanks to all of you for listening to this podcast. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you.